Hey guys, Brittany here from Pennies into Pearls. On today's video, I am showing you something I've been working on, but I am so proud of it and so excited to show you guys how to build your very own custom-made farmhouse table. This is the perfect project for any beginner. It doesn't matter your experience with woodworking. If you follow this tutorial, you're gonna have a beautiful table for under $150. That's it! Most farmhouse tables, especially customized farmhouse tables, are gonna cost you well over $600, even into the thousands. But I'm gonna show you guys how to do it step by step, and it's gonna take you just a few hours to get it done. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you're gonna wanna stay tuned. Welcome back, you guys. This is Pennies into Pearls, and this is where I teach you guys all about finance, food, and fun, DIY being one of those fun things. There we go. If you're interested in learning how to live your dream life on less, you're gonna wanna consider hitting that subscribe button. So we finally built our farmhouse table. I'm so excited. I've been dreaming of having a farmhouse table for so long. Like I mentioned before, it just was never in our budget until we figured out how to do it for super cheap. Have any of you guys ever built a farmhouse table or any other type of furniture for your house? I wanna know. Leave those down in the comments below, and I especially would love it if you guys tagged me on Instagram with your pictures of your projects that you're proud of that you built. Speaking of Instagram, you've probably already seen some sneak peeks of this table right here. If you follow my Instagram stories, it's so much fun over there, so you totally need to head over there. Follow me on Instagram. Inspiration for this table was from one of my new favorite YouTube channels. Lowe has a YouTube channel. Specifically, one of their series is called The Weekender. It is addicting. It's so much fun. Each episode shows you how just within 5 simple projects you can completely transform a room in your house. The Weekender is also available to watch on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and then again on Lowe's YouTube channel. When you're done watching this tutorial, check out the links down in the description box. I'll link you to anything that I'm talking about today. One of the most recent episodes on The Weekender, they built a farmhouse table very similar to this one. They have so many awesome projects on that show. If you head on over to The Weekender's website, they'll have step-by-step instructions and material lists, full-on tutorials for you guys on how to do projects like this one. And a huge thank you to Lowe's for partnering with me on this project and for sponsoring this video. All right, so let's jump on in on how to build yourself your very own custom-made farmhouse table.
The very first thing you're gonna have to do is go out and buy all your supplies. So first things first, pay attention to which pieces of wood you're choosing. Make sure that they're not twisted, they're not bowed, and pay attention for any big dings or cuts or scratches. Now you can start heading down that handy dandy purchase list I gave you. I started with the 2x12 by 16 foot, and don't make the same mistake I did. You can ask for help. Those guys are more than happy to help. Lowe's has great customer service. You're gonna wanna go out and get some 2x3s and some 1x4s. And then I have a little tip for you on how to save money on buying the legs for your table. Now I wanted some legs that are a little bit curvier, have a little bit more shape than just a regular 4x4. So what we ended up doing was using these beams that are meant, I believe, for the end of a banister, but they're gonna save you anywhere between $5 to $10 per leg, which total is gonna save you anywhere between $10 to $40. They are gonna need to be cut down to size, but it's just kind of a matter of preference and how much work you wanna put into it. And don't forget that at Lowe's, you can have your pieces of wood cut completely for free, which comes in handy with these 2x12s because those babies are hard to handle, but these guys know what they're doing and they will do it for you, no problem. You now have everything you need, and it's time to start building your table. The very first thing that we did was to start building the legs for the table. Start by cutting the balls that were at the top of the banister poles. That way you can create a flat surface for your table legs to stand on. Then, because these beams are meant to be banister poles, they need to be cut down quite a bit. So you're gonna wanna measure and cut them down so they measure out to be the length of 28.5 inches. Next, measure and cut your 1x4 so that way you have 2 62-inch pieces and 2 30-inch pieces. Next, you're gonna wanna use your jig kit and you're gonna start drilling in some pocket holes. Just follow the instructions on the kit. It's pretty simple to follow along, and if you have any more questions, just do a quick YouTube search. But anyways, for the most part, you're gonna do 2 pocket holes on the ends facing out. And then a few more pocket holes on the side of the board facing up towards where you're going to attach your tabletop. You're going to want to make these holes about 6 to 8 inches apart. Next, you're going to want to make sure and sand all the pieces that we just cut. You're going to do this by using 80 grit sandpaper, and just make sure that you are sanding in the direction of the grain. Once you finish with the 80 grit sandpaper, you can bump it up to 120 or maybe 180 just to give it a smoother finish. Now set your 62-inch 1x4 in between two of the legs, except you're going to be using about a 1/2 inch board as a guide underneath your 1x4. This is going to help your board so it's set back just a little bit, and this is really just for aesthetic purposes. And don't forget to use just a little bit of wood glue at any joint that you're putting together. Using 1.5 inch pocket hole screws, attach the boards together. Then repeat the same process using your other 62-inch 1x4 and your other two legs. Now to attach the two pieces that you just created using your 30-inch 1x4, you're going to probably need some help unless you have some really cool clamps or something, but just have one person hold the two ends up and the other person just attach using the 1.5 inch pocket hole screws. Now on the plan that I gave you guys, I told you to measure out your inside support beams at 34 3/8 of an inch, but you want to make sure and measure yourself because as you're putting things together, there's a bunch of different factors that can make this change. So measure the distance and then cut your 2x3s accordingly. Next, add pocket holes to your 2x3s, same way as you did to your 1x4, so you're going to do them on the ends facing out and then on the top end facing up towards your tabletop, making those ones 6 to 8 inches apart. To find placement for your support beams, you're going to measure down the length of your table every 14 inches, mark that off, make sure that the lines meet up on each side of the table, and then attach your 2x3s to your 1x4 using a 1.5 inch pocket hole screw. Now it's time to work on your tabletop. So what you're going to do is lay out your 2x12s exactly how you want your tabletop to look. Then moving your boards, flipping them over so that way it's as if your boards were connected and you just flip the tabletop completely over. With your tabletop flipped over, roughly sketch out a V across the bottom of the boards going across all 4 boards. This is going to make it a lot easier after you drill your pocket holes to line the boards up in the right order again. Now to measure out the pocket holes, you're going to measure every 8 inches, but only on the 3 sides of the boards that are touching. Then get to drilling all of those pocket holes. Now you're going to want to be sure and put some good effort into sanding down these boards. As they're going to be your tabletop, you want them to be nice and smooth, so I go over it with 80 grit sandpaper, then again with a higher grit sandpaper like 120 or 180 to get them really nice and smooth. Make sure to get all the edges, and of course, as always, sand with the grain. Once you're all done sanding, you're going to start laying your boards out again with the bottom side up. This is where that V you drew it is going to come in handy, making sure that all the boards are in the order that you wanted. Now it's time to start attaching your tabletop. Put down a thin line of wood glue and then drill together using 2-inch pocket hole screws. You'll see our technical way of getting the boards down flat. We just stand on the boards to try to get them as level as possible as we're drilling in the screws. Now when it starts to really start looking like a table, bring your table base over and lay it upside down on top of your tabletop. Measure out to make sure that it is center, both length and width-wise. And then what we did is just made little marks around each corner to be sure that the table base doesn't move. And the very last step to assembly would be to drill your table base to the tabletop, and you do this using 2-inch pocket hole screws.
Nice and sturdy.
That's super. It's great. It's solid. No, let's just do it.
Your table is all done. Now you need to decide what type of finish you want to do. Are you going to do paint or are you going to do staining? If you do decide staining like we did, you're going to want to start with a wood conditioner. Then you'll move on to your stain, and then you'll move on to like the finish, the protective coat for the wood. The stain color that we chose is called Provençal. It's a little bit darker than I was going for. I still ended up loving it, but what I especially love about this color is that it makes all the cracks and little divots a really dark contrast to the overall stain color. And the completely last step you need to do is put your sealant over the top, and for us we're using a polyacrylic because that dries clear where sometimes other finishes might dry with a yellow tint. This one dries completely clear, and we did choose the finish called Provençal and it turned out great.
So there you guys have it. That is how you can build your very own farmhouse table. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if you guys plan on building your own, if you already built one. What's your favorite Weekender episode? I want to know it all. Let's chat down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel so you don't miss out on any more videos like this one. Oh, and you guys, don't forget to share this video if you like it and you think you have some friends out there that might be interested in learning how to build their own farmhouse table. Super easy and super cheap. Don't forget to check out The Weekender, you guys. I've got all the links down there to their YouTube channel and their website, all of that stuff. It's amazing. It's totally free. You guys are gonna love it. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.